So we're here and we all like this project of ours, but I think it's worth saying, each of us, why we think it's a good idea for people to get involved in this project called ModPo. So Emily, you first. Why should people take this course?
I think if you like poetry, you should take this course, but also if you like people, you're going to meet so many of them, and you're going to have a lot of conversations in a lot of different formats, and you're probably going to have a couple pen pals for life after this.
That's true. Fantastic. Gabe?
Yeah, it's so lovely to watch people care as much as ModPo students do about poetry. I think poets rarely get readers as caring as we have, and I think it's just a real honor to learn how to do that.
I like that. Dave?
I just really like the way it's set up to be for anybody, and especially people who don't even have time to take a full course, not to get deterred from diving into it, because you can just take it and do a little bit here, and don't have to worry about taking it as a full course, but you can still get a ton out of it.
Fantastic. Davey?
One reason to take ModPo is that we get used to using language in particular ways and get used to habits of language, and that's something that's important to all the poems in ModPo is breaking those habits and thinking more carefully about what the words that we choose, what effect they have.
Fantastic. Allie?
It's free.
Yeah, say something about that. I mean, how could it be free? Nothing's free.
Yeah, well, I would say, not only is it free, but it is a gift. And it will give you a lot. Whether that is just connections, a community of people who are interested in not only poetry, but ideas in a really deep way, and a community of people who are interested in community in a non-traditional way that you can't always necessarily see, but that is always there.
Fantastic. Anna?
People should take ModPo because ModPo is ever expanding. If you've ever been lucky enough to take a class and thought, that was cool, I wish I could stay in that class, stay in ModPo. Because
You can!
You can! Because we are literally always making new stuff. We're always meeting new people and making new videos. And ModPo Plus is truly terrifying in its scope at this point. And it's just going to keep growing.
Fantastic. Amber Rose?
One reason people should take ModPo is because it is a learning environment where we are actively working against hierarchies. So it's really about collaboration, and it encourages you to trust your own thinking and your own interpretation and exploration.
Fantastic. Lily?
Well, we know from the previous 7 years of ModPo that a lot of English language learners enjoy taking ModPo because it's kind of a welcoming and patient space for people who are trying out reading and interpreting in a language that's new to them. And so, we really welcome that, and many people form individual study groups for speakers of their original languages. So, that's an exciting motivator.
Lily, that's such a correct but counterintuitive remark, because poetry is the English of these poems is so difficult, and yet it seems to be very accessible. How do you account for that paradox?
So many of the poems in the course are so honest about their experimentation. So maybe you struggle a little bit with metaphor in a new language or symbolism in a new to you language, but that's not necessarily the project of the poems. They're thinking about the language, the product of the language itself. So it's almost like it's not trying to trick you into a deeper or a different or a weird reading necessarily where, I don't know all the cultural connotations of that, so I won't understand that symbol. It's not really the project of the poetry in the course.
Fantastic. Molly?
It's really fun, especially as a person who struggles a little bit in traditional educational situations. There's a lot of space in ModPo to explore and to make mistakes, and we get to sort of bypass the pressure of being in a school environment. So I think for people who are really well suited to academia, it's great, but for people who aren't, it's equally great.
Terrific. Max?
Find an in-person meetup. It's a great way to meet people in your city or your area who you might not otherwise cross paths with. And also it can give you an excuse to go somewhere new where you might not otherwise go. I'm going to go check out Lori Niedeker's cabin in Wisconsin.
Oh, it's great. That's a great idea. And I would say, among all these other reasons, I would say that when people ask me why they should do it, I say, you're in a city far away from the University of Pennsylvania. You already went to college, or you didn't go to college, but you're not college age, and you're busy and you can't do it, or you're retired, or you live in a far-flung place where access to the university is very limited. This is free, without charge, access to some really carefully assembled, curated resources that have been provided and paid for dearly by the institution that has now made the correct decision or mistake, depending on your administrative point of view, to make all this stuff available to anyone who takes the course. And there's a whole lot there. So, access. So, I think we're all agreed people should take this course.
Take the course.
Take a course. All right. Thank you.